Update on the Hartford police officer that's facing charges for first-degree sexual assault. We've learned more about the allegations at a popular bar in Rhode Island. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Cassidy Williams has spent the day digging into this and is breaking down what we know. Cassidy?
Well, the Rhode Island court system works quite differently than in Connecticut. The information available about the charges is limited. What we do know is the Hartford police officer, 25-year-old Justin Damone, had his first court appearance earlier today. He was arrested after an incident at Ballard's Beach Resort on Block Island this past Saturday. The beach bar is located right near the ferry docks, and it's a popular spot for tourists. The bar released a statement saying a woman came up to their security team to let them know a man had inappropriately touched her. The statement goes on to say, "We implemented our robust security measures, and our head of security immediately intervened and contacted Block Island Police. Ballard's, which employs a full-time team of trained security professionals led by a former police chief, has zero tolerance for any behavior that could affect the safety or well-being of guests or staff." Damone is now suspended from the Hartford Police Department without pay. Pending this investigation, Damone spent the past several days in a Rhode Island jail, but posted bail earlier today. The Rhode Island State Police says it is not releasing more details at the request of the victim. Damone is due back in court in November. Cassidy Williams, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.